This is a chromoly steel road bicycle. It has STIs, it has disc brakes, it has a 2x8 drivetrain, and I am going to turn this into an electric bicycle because I keep getting injured and I hate cars. So I always forget, which way am I going here? Yep, that is the way. I don't know if I need to take that derailleur off or not. I'm actually going to try to leave it on. I'm always afraid to use force, because once you break it, you can never make it. This is definitely the hardest I've ever had to work to remove cranks. Usually it's not that hard. Jeez. Are you kidding me? Jesus. Jesucristo. It's so tight. I've never had that much trouble getting rid of cranks. See, that little thing is supposed to push them, which it did, but I don't know, I just don't remember it ever being that hard. So now, do I need a tool for this? Oh man, I don't have that tool, I don't think. Oh, wait a minute. I think I do. Why do I have this tool? I don't think I have any other... Why do I have that? Why is this so much harder than my old bicycles? Okay. Look, it doesn't even stay in. That's the problem. Aha! Try to, oh wait. Yeah, the other side needs to come out soon. Alright. Alright, the bottom bracket is out. Now I have those cables. So this is the unwrapping. It's not an unboxing, but it's an unwrapping. So this is the bottom bracket. I seriously doubt it has instructions. But I have a feeling this is going to come into place soon. Maybe the extra crank, because I got a straight crank to correct for the fact that the motor's further out. Everything's further out this way, so I got a crank that makes it equal. So that's an extra crank. That doesn't normally come with it. And then the normal cranks come in a styrofoam that will last 10,000 years and be here well after humans are gone. This is an adapter from Anderson to the XT90 plug. And then this is the throttle, which we'll get to later because right now it doesn't have throttle. This is probably some kind of sensor for brakes or something. This is a USB cord, probably for the, oh, there's a little funny plug on that one. That's probably going to be needed for like programming stuff. Here's the display. I got the the 860C instead of the 850C because it's supposed to be better in sunlight, which I don't understand how you're supposed to not have something that's good in sunlight on a bicycle. This is for the programming the motor, I think, or to connect to the computer. This is another one of those cords that I don't know what it is, but something to do with the sensors. This looks like another thing that's related to sensors. This looks like a plug that connects to all the other ones. A splitter. There's a screw around here somewhere for my robot. I don't know where that is. I can actually take this off because even if I did use it, I'd have to unscrew it. Here's another good bolt that could potentially be useful for that other situation. Alright, I guess, what is this? Can I just stick this in here, or should I just put grease on it first? Oh, you know what? Those cords are really going to be in the way. Can't do it. Can't help you. Oh man, why is everything difficult? We need to just take it out of these places. Whose brilliant idea was this? What is happening underneath? There are too many wires. To grease or not to grease? What would be the pluses and minuses? The great thing about bicycles is a lot of things are the same. Like a lot of the bolts are the same. How do I know I'm putting this on the right way? Because there's only one way. Because you cannot put it on the wrong way because that's the way bicycles work. Wait, is that where that's supposed to go? And you know what? Brakes are pretty important. So basically everything is in place. You didn't put the chain on, which hopefully you don't need to do that. Oh man. It's kind of too little too late, but I'm going to put gloves on. You're going to need to put that cable back actually, because make sure that derailleur's in the right place. This could have been a lot easier if I knew what I was doing. There are no instructions on anything. That is really the problem. I mean, it's a motor, so you want it to be tight, right? I gotta figure out the rest of this stuff. So for the battery, we have whatever this is. Keys. Oh god, more keys. Why is there a weird plug? There actually does seem to be an instruction manual. Let's see. Safe lock. Battery do not work. Yeah, okay, that's great. Can you see this? I'm turning the key, which I guess somehow is gonna make this come off, I guess. I guess that's how it works. That's really insane. What bicycle is this supposed to work on? Oh my god. So these are standard, which actually I'm gonna leave it like the standard for now because my right foot is weird anyway. This, I'm guessing, is some kind of magnet for speed or cadence or something. Probably speed, I guess. I wish there were instructions. That's all I can say. I don't understand how there's no instructions with this. That is really irritating me. Ah! Oh! Ah! Did I just get caught in the disc brake? Unbelievable.
You just got both of them.
That's it. Ah! Here is the pretty much the sort of complete product. So actually I'll start with the pedals. Of the SPD clips on one side and just the regular platform on the other, so I can wear street shoes with this bicycle. Usually I use the Look style cleats. And then that's the crank that just goes there. It's not connected to the chain rings and the spider like the normal bicycles. It's just they're both bolted on single, just the arm itself. Then there's the guard, my first bicycle with a chain guard. I left the derailleur on. I did have to tighten the cable to get it to go out that far. I'm actually planning on having some double chainring action happening soon, but for right now it's just the one chainring. It's a 42 tooth. Putting in the bottom bracket was pretty easy. It was just like a normal press fit cartridge style bottom bracket. Just use the tool. Didn't really have to do anything with the cables. I did undo the derailleur cables, but I really didn't have to, and I'll get to that in a second. The battery took a while because it doesn't, where the places were to put the water bottle cage did not fit, but I found out that if you, well, first of all I drilled a hole in the plastic, which wasn't necessary, but I didn't know that at first, but it still didn't fit. It was too close to the end here, just couldn't get the battery on and off. And then I found out in the plate on the bottom, there was actually a place where you could open up the cover with the little 3 screws, and you could put the battery, you could put the water bottle cage screws actually inside the metal part of the attachment piece. So that's good, because now it's pretty much in the perfect spot. I would like it to be a little bit further back, or just a tiny bit forward, just so I could put the water bottle there. But I'll get to that also in a second. So let's go to the other side here. There's actually some plastic wrap on this battery. I think it was in a warehouse in the heat. But anyway, there's a lock, which I actually thought I was going to have to put the battery in upside down, which the lock would have been useful for. There's also a power switch and a charging port on the other side, which I didn't show you, but you probably saw it in the video. The motor obviously down here. Now, I was able to get the cables. I don't know if you can see this, but this is a derailleur cable, this is a derailleur cable. They actually go between the bottom bracket and the motor, which is good because I didn't want the brake cable, as you can see, is on the outside, which I didn't like as much. I probably could have put it under there, but I just thought the brake is a little bit more important, and I just didn't want to pinch it or something. So so that's that. The wires I put through here, through the between the wheel and the
piece of metal there between the stays, the bridge. I probably should have tried to cram them somewhere in there, but the motor support's there, and I didn't really want to chance pinching the wires and ruining the motor. So I think this will work because there's enough tension to keep them away from the wheels. And then the speed, you can see the speed motor goes underneath this. By the way, this is my first bicycle with a kickstand also. I added a kickstand. I don't know if it's going to work because it's so heavy, but it's going to go behind the kickstand, and there's a little crevice back there that it fits in. And then kind of wrapped it around the chainstay, and then that's the sensor, and then there's also the speed magnet, which is right there. It's supposed to go, this little arrow on the, you can see it right there by the magnet. There's a little arrow there. It's supposed to line up, but they said don't put it too close because it will scramble it, which is weird. Usually I put them closer than that, but you know, we'll see. That's a little weird thing. I always move the sensor away from the magnet away from the sensor. I don't know if it's like electromagnetically, if you kind of desensitize the magnet if it stays next to it, so I always just kind of push it away, by the way. This is all going to be cleaned up. I actually have these attached by just tie straps right now, not even zip ties, just little tie straps, this little, you know, those little twist ties things, just as a temporary thing, just to see if it works. And then I'm also going to maybe get some cable stops here, because the brake cutoffs are a little bit of an issue. I'll get to that in a second too. This is the computer, which I'll turn on in a second and show you how that works. And then up here is the dashboard, I call it. Kind of, you got the thing that turns the computer on, has the plus and minus switch, and then the menu and the power switch. And then I have a thing for a light. I use Saigo lights, they're really powerful. This is the thumb throttle, which is currently not connected because it just, apparently it's going to cause issues with the motor because I have the temperature sensor currently installed and connected and set up on the computer. So in order to install the throttle and actually connect it, I have to undo a clip inside the motor and then also set up the computer to sense the throttle. So that's the issue with that. But this is a little bar that goes on. It actually, you can see it goes on with a little clamp. You can see that clamp there. And that thing right there, that it goes, connects to this thing, and then that has all that other stuff on it. Kind of kept my little reflector on there just to have it. That's the GoPro. It's going to be upside down, but couldn't really figure out how to put it the other way. So you can see these are the two GoPro bolts, and then it has the metal thing that goes around. This is actually a handlebar holder just for the stand, so it doesn't move while you're working on it. This is the throttle cable here, and then there's also, you can see this one here, and there's another 2 or 3, I think. There should be 3 more actually. One is for the throttle, and one is for the brakes. There's supposed to be inline brake sensors, but because I have hoods and the housing is all inside, it doesn't really work. And so even though the guy on the website says this style of sensor is for road bikes, I don't know if it's the best way to go. I think the best way is the ones that say for hydraulic, just because then you can just put magnets somewhere on the brake lever, and then supposedly when the magnet moves away, it cuts the motor because it's a sign that you're braking. So we'll see how that works. But I'm probably going to put a cable stop on the down tube here, just so that I could put that, if I do want to do the through line brake cutoff, then I can put the housing right up to that, and I'll put that that cutoff, the place where the cable goes through, I'll butt it right up against the cable stop, and that'll be more secure than just putting it somewhere in the middle of the housing, which to me just doesn't seem like a good idea. Oh, by the way, this is a XT90. It's a different kind of plug. I think I asked for the one that came with the motor. I don't really think this one came with the motor. I think he kind of BS'd me a little bit on that. But then there's this little adapter that goes to the Anderson plugs that goes to the battery. So supposedly it's a better connection, but I don't know if it, like with the Anderson plugs, if it matters. I don't know if that benefit is lost. It's a really nice bicycle, by the way. I even have the adjustable stem.
All right, so it's on. It's on level 10 assist. It goes from 0 to 20. And then the throttle's not connected. But you can see it has miles per hour, which, you know, I guess if you're too lame to switch to the metric system, you use miles per hour. And then motor temp, which is good. I won't have that once I connect the throttle. But for right now, I just want to see how hot it gets and so forth and test it all out. Battery current, which, whatever. Motor power, which is good. Motor speed. Now, I thought there was human power. Let's see what happens when I turn the pedals. Okay, so you had some motor power there. I know there was a situation where I was able to get to a screen that had human power. What if I hit menu? Nope, nothing happens. Oh, there we go. You hit the power button again, and it goes, I like this a lot. This is basically a power meter, and then you have motor power, so you can see how much you're contributing, which I don't actually have a power meter yet, so that's really exciting. I was kind of going to get one, and then it was super expensive, so you would have to replace the crank, and they either had ones that have power meters in the pedals, which seemed questionable, or the best ones are the ones in the cranks. But then I have so many bicycles. What am I going to do? Get a $1,000 power meter for each bicycle? I don't think so. So anyway, you have human power now, which is awesome. Trip distance, trip time. And this is obviously like the speed chart, so it's kind of cool. And then we go, I think there's a third screen. Human power on the chart. I don't see much else different. Motor current. Cadence. This is a good screen. This is probably where I'll stay because you get miles per hour, cadence, power, and that's pretty much the things I care about. So that's a really good home screen right there. This is not the correct time. And I think that's it. I think it's just 3. Yeah, that's 3 screens. And then, like I said, you could go up and down on the assist, goes up to 20. And then, you know, like I said, when you turn the pedals and you get that crank going, there you can hear it. And this is supposedly, I have to really get this out on the road to test it out, but this is supposedly going to be good for higher cadence modes, which I really like, because I will be using the higher cadences. I always go, you know, kind of in between 80 and 100, maybe, well, more like right around 90 preferably. But, you know, 85 to 95, really. And then you just, you know, hold it down. It goes off. And that's it for now. I mean, don't forget to turn the battery off.